So welcome to IDP Study Abroad Open Day. We have with us Miss Kylie from Maybank. She's our retail financing specialist. So
Yes.
she'll be presenting on Maybank education financing. So you may take it away, Miss Ang.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Ling. I will be sharing more about our Maybank Education Loan today. Okay, I understand that you guys are planning to go overseas for your further studies, and this is how Maybank can help you to get some financing. Okay, first of all, why Maybank? We do have competitive interest rates at 4.45% per annum, and we can loan you up to $200,000 or up to 8 times of your guarantor's monthly income. You can have up to 2 guarantors, and then we will do a combined income calculation, but the maximum will be at 200,000. So you can choose the loan tenor of up to 10 years. For overseas, it would actually be 3 to 10 years. All right. So we do have flexible repayment schemes. The three that are available. They are called the interest servicing, the partial repayment, and the standard repayment. Okay. So what's the eligibility criteria for the education loan itself? You have to be a Singaporean citizen or PR, but in some rare cases, if you are actually a foreigner, it is still possible, just that the criteria will be more stringent. And I will elaborate more on that if there's any of you who falls in this category. Okay, you can ask me in the question Q&A later. So the minimum age criteria of the main applicant is 18 years old. So the main applicant is always the student. And the guarantor has to be at least 21 years old. You can have up to 2 guarantors, as I mentioned, but we do prefer for one of the guarantors to be an immediate family member of the student. The other one can be a family friend or anyone. So for the guarantors income criteria, we will need the first guarantor to have a minimum or income of 60,000 per annum, whereas for the second guarantor, you just need a minimum income of 30,000 per annum. Okay, next. Why Maybank? Maybank has actually an education loan team specialist, so we specialize in education loan itself. So feel free to ask us any question. I'll show my contact details at the end of the slides. We have fast processing time, typically about 3 to 5 working days for straightforward cases. Of course, if it's a little bit more complicated, we might need a little bit more time. So for financing, because I believe there are different countries' courses, right? We finance in Singapore dollars or in other foreign currency like AUD, GBP, Okay, and we do have the 3 flexible repayment options that I mentioned earlier. Okay. Right now we have a promotion package because before this promotion package, it's actually of a slightly higher interest rate, 4.88%. But right now, until 30th of June, the promotion is for 4.45% per annum for all the different repayment schemes that we have. Okay, and for now, we accept application via inquiry or from our website. Later, I can show you how you can go about doing that. It's applicable to all our loan tenors, 3 to 10 years, and for any loan amount at all. So there is no special criteria for you to be eligible for this promo rate of 4.45%. Okay, let me just give you an example of the repayment scheme that we have in comparison for the usual rate as well compared to the promo rate. So the 4.88% standard repayment scheme is our usual rate. if you take up a loan of 60,000 for 10 years, it's approximately $633 per month. But with the promo rate, it's only about $621 per month. So if you multiply that by 10 years, it's actually quite significant. So you should take the chance to explore our financing. So documents requirement will be these 5 items. It will be the application form, the NRIC of both the main applicant and the guarantor or guarantors. For employee guarantors, we would need the latest 3 months payslip or the 12 months CPF contribution history. Whereas for self-employed, we will get the latest 2 years IRS NOA, the notice of assessment. And from the school itself, we will need a letter of acceptance stating the time and duration of your course. So with the course name, the duration, the course commencement date, and things like that. Of course, lastly, we need to know how much your course amounts to. So the course fee payment schedule, if it's available. Usually for your letter of offer, they will state just briefly X amount per annum. And then if it's a 3 years course, for Maybank itself, we will actually just do a ×3 for easy calculation. So we will assume that every year it's the same annual amount. Okay, that's basically it. I'll be taking in question and answers here. Okay, let me see. I see the first question. Is there a maximum age for the first guarantor? So in general, for guarantors, we will cap the age at 65 upon the loan maturity. So meaning if you want to apply for a 10 years loan, your guarantor should not be past age 55 at this point. Hope this answers. The second question, what does a loan tenure mean? It means the number of years you would like to take up to service the loan. Okay, so as I mentioned, for overseas studies, it would be 3 to 10 years that you can choose from. So if you do have the school documents showing the course amount, the duration of the course and things like that, I can actually do up a repayment scheme. Just reach out to me. I'll do up a table for your reference, and then you have a gauge of how much your monthly installment will be, and then you'll see like which number of years will suit you best. Okay, next question. Can you please elaborate on the repayment plans? Okay, let me try to find the slide if I have it. So on this slide, it says, okay, it doesn't say. So we do have 3 different types of repayment scheme. There are the standard repayment, the partial repayment, as well as the interest servicing. So the interest servicing is during the course of your study. Let's say, as example, your course is a 3 years course. You can take up to 3 years interest servicing, whereby during these 3 years, you pay only minimal interest and not the principal at all. And then, but from the 4th year onwards, you have to start paying the principal plus interest. So this scheme actually is there to help you cope with the repayment better, so that by the time you graduate, you can start paying the principal plus interest comfortably. Okay, and for the partial repayment, it consists of a little bit more of the principal and the interest combination. But usually students will not take this up. It will be the interest servicing plus standard repayment, or just the standard repayment itself, whereby students will start paying the principal plus interest from the very start of the first drawdown of their loan. Okay, the next question. What if the guarantor's minimum income is not met? Is there any other way to go around it, including the second guarantor too? So we because the criteria right now is that the first guarantor has to earn a minimum of 60,000 per annum. We do have a little bit of leeway whereby if your guarantor minimally earns 48K per annum, we can try to put up an appeal for you, but maybe the multiplier will be a little lesser, because right now for Singaporeans, we loan 8 times of their monthly income, whereas for PR, we loan 6 times of the monthly income. But if there's special cases whereby you don't need that much of a loan amount, we are able to appeal for you on a case-by-case basis. Okay, so it's better for you to reach out to me directly, and then I'll see how I can help you from there. Okay, so second guarantor, definitely we will still require a minimum of 30,000 per annum to be eligible. Okay, next question. I think I answered this just a while ago about the flexible repayment options, which is the interest servicing, the partial repayment, as well as the standard repayment. Can you take a partial loan? Yes, you can. You do not have to take the full cost fee amount if you do not wish to or need to. Okay, for example, if your cost fee is a total of 60,000, but you only need 30,000, that's fine. The minimum loan amount though for overseas studies is 15,000 and a minimum loan tenure of 3 years. Okay, and yes, you can actually loan from midway of your course. It doesn't have to be from the beginning. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience if you are not able to do some signatures if you're not in Singapore personally. But there are other ways to go about doing it. So just reach out to me and I'll discuss more with you. Okay, next question. Is the loan applicable for all levels of education, master's and PhD? Yes. Typically, all of the schools under IDP we support, and as long as it's any diploma, bachelor's, master's, PhD, as long as you are able to give us the proper documentation, most of the time it's in our list. So no worries about that. If there's any particular school that you would like to check if it's in the list itself, just let me know. I'll check it for you. Okay. These are all the
Okay, Miss Ang, sorry. I think we have just one more question.
Sure.
A student actually asked, will there be any penalty for early pre-termination of repaying the loan earlier than the agreed 10 years tenure, for example, 5 years to pay the balance outstanding amount?
Okay, so for that, if example you loan a 60,000, you draw down, but you took a 10 years loan, but you decide you have enough money to pay off the loan earlier before the 10 years, you can do so. The penalty is 1% of the outstanding loan balance. And on top of that, if you only want to pay a partial payment, just a bulk payment, you can do that as well. The penalty is also 1% of the prepaid amount. You just have to go to any Maybank branch, give them a 1-month notice, tell them what you would like to do, whether it's early redemption or partial repayment. They can help you with it. But both scenarios, the penalty will be 1%.
Okay, so the other question would be, will the disbursement of money will be directly to the school or the applicant?
Disbursement of the loan will only be straight to the school, because this is a purposeful loan and not exactly a personal loan. Okay, so usually what we do is we'll get the telegraphic transfer detail of the school for the first semester at least, or the first drawdown of the loan, and I'll help you with it. We will do a TT transfer, or usually nowadays we don't really do demand draft to the school anymore because it's a little bit more troublesome. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have another Q&A. If my dad is self-employed and isn't earning a regular income, how does it work?
Well, it is still possible if he meets the basic criteria of the income for self-employed, which is 60,000 per annum. But if it's lesser than that, then it might be a little bit difficult, and maybe you would like to explore looking for maybe a relative or someone who can actually meet the criteria income.
Okay, the next question would be, are we able to check with Maybank if the loan can be approved before we accept our admissions from the school in case the loan get rejected?
Typically, what students will do is they don't make any payment or commitment to accept the offer yet. You can get the letter of offer from the school with all the details that you need, and then we'll do the submission of the loan. So once the loan is successful, you'll receive the letter of offer from the bank, right? And you can actually use this letter of offer to go and apply for your visa, to accept your course, or this. This is what typical student would do to get the assurance.
All right, I think that's all for now.
Okay, I will go to the page where my contact details are available. So this is my direct mobile number and my email. Feel free to send me any questions. I'll answer them as promptly as I can. And for application of the loan itself, you can actually go to the maybank2u.com.sg website. Okay. If there's any trouble, you can just take a screenshot of this contact details, reach out to me, and I'll help you with it.
Yeah, also you guys can actually go back to Hubilo and then find Miss Ang Kaiding to chat with her as well for any further queries.
Yes, no
And
problem. I see one more question from the Q&A. What happens in the event that the amount that needs to be loaned changes midway through the loan midterm scholarship? Okay. Because we are unable to determine or this scholarship that you might get halfway through. So you have to decide whether you want to loan the full amount first for assurance, because any loan amount that is not disbursed or unused after you graduate can be cancelled for a small fee of 1%. So if you would like to take the amount for assurance, you can do that. But if you are very confident that you'll get a scholarship, you can loan lesser. To you.
thank you so much.
Welcome. So I'll be open to take any questions offline. Just reach out to me. I think that's all for now.
All right, thank you for the insightful sharing. Yeah, so if any one of you have questions, you may ask now. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
guys can head back to Hubilo and then wait for the next webinar session. Yeah. Also, you guys can also reach out to Miss Ang for any other queries. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All the best to all of you.